Hello all of you wonderful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and here's the thing that you might not know about me. Before I liked to grind very hard in the clubs at the weekend, I used to love grinding down at the local skate park. That is a lie. I only did it maybe once or twice during university and I could barely ollie, but still, I loved the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. Well, the majority of them. A hated ride. I own all of them. That's what I should have said. And I'm very, very excited to know that there is going to be a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster done by Vicarious Visions that will allow me to vicariously live out my dreams of being a skater boy. It's a bit strange though, because this is obviously two games that have already had remakes, but these new remakes / remasters have got a lot of features, which is why I'm here to tell you about 10 things that you need to know about these glorious games. So let's get to it. Number 10. When is it actually getting released? Well, buckle up, boyo, because this one's actually a really short entry. It's coming out on September the 4th, 2020. But there's actually a bit of a strangeness about this, because at the time of filming, and obviously you guys will be experiencing this as well, we are in a current crisis. Not allowed to describe what it is because YouTube will demonetize us. Bizarre. It would have made more sense for them to put this game out during this period because you'd have an inbuilt audience that has, quite frankly, nothing better to do. But still, we have to wait until September in order to get our hands on these brilliant, hopefully brilliant games. So yeah, September the 4th, 2020. Number 9. They've built on top of Neversoft's handling code. So Vicarious Visions knew beforehand that they'd have to nail some of the key things that made the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games so damn good. And part of their plan involved securing assets from the old dev team at Neversoft that would give them something to build on. So Vicarious Visions set about the task of getting that handling code from over 20 years ago. So what does this mean for us, the players? Well, this is nothing but good news, because this actually means that every single pipe, every single vert, every single line will be exactly the same as it was in the original games. Because at the end of the day, remasters, remakes, they like to do little tweaks here and there, but no one would enjoy this if they move the gaps of certain things. I mean, imagine having something that is so muscle memory be completely changed just because the new dev team were like, actually, that's a bit close there, it's a bit of a fire hazard, that. Get out. Number 8. All of the original skaters are back. Praise be to the god himself that is the Hawkman. He and the rest of his beautiful cohort will be back in this remaster, and I am very happy to see this, because the thing is that we grew up with these established names like Bob Burnquist, Rodney Mullen, the Mullet Man himself, Mr. Defying All of Gravity. Seriously, he might be one of the best trick skaters I've ever seen. I swear he's a magician in his spare time. Kareem Campbell, Andrew Reynolds, Rune Glifberg, they're all back. And maybe it's not that surprising to you. I mean, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater helped make some of these guys household names amongst gamers, and it launched them into a world of celebrity that they could have only dreamed about before Neversoft went to work. And this is the thing, I'm really glad that they've gone down this route, because could you imagine how weird and generic it would have felt if Tony Hawk was up against just some generic skaters? I mean, it would have cheapened the whole affair. However, I am a bit annoyed that we don't get the likes of, say, Eric Sparrow in there, because I would have loved to have rubbed his face right against the concrete again and again. He's a little pissant, and I hate him. Number 7. There will indeed be secret skaters. When you think of Tony Hawk's 2, you don't think of School 2, you don't think of all of the amazing tricks, you don't think of the brilliant secrets that you can unlock, bar one, which is the fact that if you got 100%, you could unlock bloody Spider-Man. And though Spider-Man might not be in this remaster because licensing is rather complex, others definitely will be. And there is a safe bet that this is going to be Crash Bandicoot, because obviously Vicarious Visions worked on the Insane Trilogy remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, and so Crash could have just been imported from that. Brilliant. Plus it's got a kind of weird skater look. Well, it's definitely 90s, so he'll fit in. Number 6, the iconic soundtracks are included. Now this is the thing, even if Spider-Man doesn't make the cut for whatever reason, we know that Rage Against the Machine has. Oh yes! This was a lot of the sticking point for a lot of people. When the remasters came out of the original 2, it's so hard to describe a game that has a remaster and this is a remaster of a different thing. Whatever. The previous ones that came out, they handled pretty well. They did a really good job across the board. But a lot of people were pissed off that the soundtracks were completely shifted and changed, or if they did have original songs, there was only a few of them. Well, this is the big winner here, because Vicarious Visions has confirmed that a lot, if about maybe 90% of the original soundtracks, is back in the game. Hoorah! That means we'll get the likes of the Vandals, Dead Kennedys, Primus, Goldfinger, and Suicidal Tendencies, and of course, that means that we will be getting Papa Roach. They'll finally be relevant again. So yeah, if you were going to buy this game specifically for the soundtrack, then there you have it. Number 5. It aims to exorcise the demons of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Right, okay, so we're going to talk about this now. The Tony Hawk series, as it stands right now, is in a bit of a slump. Ever since things like Ride came out, which was basically like them trying to cash in on the Rock Band and Guitar Hero, everyone's got to have a plastic toy dream, which was absolutely crap, and then the absolutely abysmal, should not have had his name attached to it, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, it's circling the drain. This is basically the resurrection that this franchise needs and definitely deserves. So it is a good thing that the developers have actively pointed out that they recognise how that previous game, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, was absolute hot garbage, and that they are working incredibly hard to undo the mistakes of the past. That fills me with a lot of confidence, because I don't like it when developers go and bag on a game that they were hyping up for ages, and it turned out to be crap, and then they just go, well, that was rubbish, but here's the next one. Here, they seem to be doing so many things right that I actually implicitly trust them, and I hope that that trust is not ill-placed. Number 4, the gameplay has been reworked. So this is the thing. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, they are brilliant games, do not get me wrong, but as the series progressed, it was kind of clear where the original 2's limitations lay. I mean, for example, in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, you didn't have the reverb, you didn't have the manual, you didn't have spine transfers or lip tricks or anything like that, and it was only until really 3 and 4 that things really kicked into high gear, and the chaining combos went through the roof. So what's interesting is that Vicarious Visions has taken all of these later game additions and put them into the first 2 games. Now this will completely change the way that the game is played, because now it won't be a case of just chaining together a few combos. This will be, well, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 silly combos in the millions of points. But if you are an absolute purist, like I'm sure that many of you are, they have actually said that there's going to be 2 options. You can play the game in classic mode or the modern one, and the classic one will actually take those features away, so you'll be able to play it as exactly as it was originally intended, and then you'll be able to do it again with all the extra tricks added back in. So there's a win-win for both camps there. I can only see this as being a good thing, and I'm pretty sure that they'll use this to tie in new achievements like completing the game only on classic mode or getting a high score with this and that. So, in terms of extending the gameplay, it also works a treat as well. Big thumbs up. Number 3, skater-specific challenges. Ho ho ho, what's this? You want even more content? Well, step right down the lunch line, because here's a big dollop of mash for you, because each single skater will have their own challenges. Now what this means is that when you're playing through, you won't just get the generic ones of like find the videotape or get the combo chain or set a high score. Now you'll have specific ones which will be like, you have got to do this over this, or do X tricks on this thing, that basically plays to that skater's strengths, which I think is a brilliant way to make sure that people rotate through the cast, and also means that there is a ton of replayability for every single level now that you get to go through with every single character and do completely different challenges. Way to keep it fresh. Funky fresh. Number 2, they're not strictly separate games. Before you get up in arms, I'm not saying that we are having a Tony Hawk's open world game here, although that would actually be pretty cool, and in fact is what Skate was. God, I miss Skate. Anyway, they're not saying that. The games will definitely be split into levels again like they were before, but what they're trying to do is Vicarious Visions has said that they're making it more seamless, so you'll be able to go through each one and all of the levels be next to each other, so you'll unlock them in the same order that the 2 games were, but you won't have to go exit out to the main menu, go straight into Tony Hawk's 2 this time and get everything set up. It'll all be under the same roof. Now, what this means in terms of gameplay is very little, apart from just making it slightly easier to select what's going on, but still, thought you should know. And number 1, online play and creator park. Oh, I'm a bit full of mash. Why not wash it down with some piping hot content? Yes, that is right. You heard me. Online play, creator park is back. And now, with these brand new graphics, with all of this extra processing power that our current console generations have at their disposal, this can only be a glorious thing. And what's really cool is they've said that you can upload your park, your friends can download it, tweak it, and then send it back to you. So basically, you can butcher your friend's architecture with your own horrible designs. Fantastic. And you can use it to set challenges. You can go onto online leaderboards and have people try and beat, like, your perfect combo chain, or play a game with horse against people online. I've always wanted this, but do not fret. For if you do not have the capabilities to go online, or you're afraid that your park might get laughed at by the school bully, do not worry, because you've got offline split-screen multiplayer as well to boot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And what this all boils down to is hopefully a ton of content, some brilliantly realised old school levels, new gameplay mechanics to make old things feel fresh, and a new way to socially engage with other skaters. If you can't tell, I'm very hyped for this. But obviously, time will tell. I'll be doing the review on this when it comes out, so be sure to stay tuned to WhatCulture Gaming for everything to do with the new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter should you want to. And remember, you have been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon, alright? Peace.